Yo, what's up everyone? Linus here. Today we're diving into the fascinating world of what happens when you power up your computer. Ever wondered what happens in those few seconds after you hit the power button on your computer? It's a lot more complex than you might think. It's like waking a sleeping giant. Only this giant runs on electricity and code. Imagine a symphony of circuits and processors coming to life. Imagine this. You hit the power button. In that instant, a chain reaction begins. Electricity flows through your machine, bringing it to life. It's like a jolt of energy that wakes up every component, but it's not ready to game yet. There's a lot more going on behind the scenes. The first thing it does is run a quick self-check, kind of like how you stretch before a workout. This is known as the post or power-on self-test. This is the computer making sure all the essential parts, the processor, memory, hard drive, are working properly. It's like a roll call for all the critical components. If anything's wrong, you might hear a beep, code, a warning signal from your computer. These beeps can tell you if there's an issue with the hardware. If everything checks out, we move to the next step. The BIOS hands over control to the operating system, and your computer starts loading up all the software you need. Finally, the operating system takes over, and you see your desktop. Now your computer is ready for action, whether it's gaming, working, or just browsing the web. So next time you press that power button, remember the incredible journey your computer takes to get ready for you. It's a marvel of modern technology. We're talking about the power-on self-test, or POST for short. This is the very first thing your computer does when you turn it on. It's a bunch of tests the computer runs to make sure everything is hunky-dory. Essentially, it's like a quick health check for your computer's vital components. Think of it as a pre-flight check for your computer. Just like pilots check their instruments before takeoff, your computer checks its hardware before booting up. The POST checks the CPU, the RAM, the graphics card, and other important components. It ensures that each part is functioning correctly and is properly connected. It makes sure they're all connected properly and working as they should. If any component is not working or is improperly connected, the POST will catch it. If the POST finds a problem, it'll usually let you know with a series of beeps or error messages. These beeps are not random. They follow a specific pattern. Each beep sequence means something different, like a secret code telling you what's wrong. For example, a single beep might indicate a memory issue, while multiple beeps could point to a graphics card problem. But hey, let's be optimistic. Most of the time, everything is just fine. If everything goes well, the POST completes successfully and we can move on to the next stage in the boot process. This means your computer is ready to load the operating system and get to work. Now, the computer needs to find its operating system, like Windows or macOS. That's where the BIOS or UEFI comes in. Think of it as the computer's instruction manual stored on a special chip on the motherboard. The BIOS UEFI tells the computer where to look for the operating system, usually on the hard drive or SSD. It's like finding the right page in the instruction manual before you can start building your Lego masterpiece. Once the BIOS UEFI knows where the operating system is, it passes the baton to the bootloader. The bootloader is a small but crucial program that does exactly what its name suggests. It loads the operating system. Without it, your computer wouldn't know how to start up. It takes the operating system files from the storage drive, which could be a hard drive or an SSD, and loads them into the computer's memory known as RAM. This process is essential for the computer to function. Think of it like getting all the ingredients out and ready before you start cooking a delicious meal. Just as a chef needs to prepare ingredients to cook efficiently, the bootloader prepares the system to run smoothly. Once the operating system is loaded into memory, the computer can finally start running it. This is when the magic happens, and your machine becomes ready for use. During this time, you'll usually see the operating system's logo and maybe a loading bar. This visual feedback lets you know that everything is progressing as it should. It's the final stretch before you can start using your computer. The anticipation builds as the progress bar reaches its end, signaling that your system is almost ready for action.